Good morning. It is Thursday, and we're just going to go over all the work that we are going to do today. So, to start off with, we're going to do Smart Kits, and we're working on page 76 and 77. If you have a look here are those 2 pages. So, all you're going to do is you're going to read this newspaper article about an accident. Have a look at the set out of the article. We have the newspaper, the name of the newspaper, the date, and a very big bold heading. Okay, and then the article and a picture of it. All right, and then what they'll also just have a little bit of a mention about what's going on in the picture there as well. All right, so boys and girls, you need to read this newspaper article, and then you're going to answer the questions on it. All right, so read very carefully, and if you can't remember how to answer it, go back, read for the answer. So it's kind of like a bit of a comprehension. All right, so do that, and then by number 3 it says, write your own newspaper article about an accident. All right, when you do your own article, try and make it look like a newspaper article. All right, you can have a big bold heading just like this one. Don't copy the story, write your own story. And then when you write a newspaper article, try and make it sound factual. All right, so it's not like once upon a time. Make it sound factual like a newspaper, like you would see in a newspaper article. All right, so let's see what you can come up with. And then for Build Your Brain Power, we're doing page 18. If you have a look here, it's a very nice little exercise because we've been doing a lot of addition this week. All right, so these sums are pretty easy to start off with. You just add in the numbers. This is nice because it shows you a relationship between units and tens. All right, so basically they're saying if you can go 2 plus 2 plus 2 plus 1, all right, you should have no problem, which is 5, you should have no problem going 20 plus 20 plus 10, which is 50. All right, so you should see a bit of a pattern developing here in this first section. The second section, very easy. You're just going to, each bag holds 10 beans, so you're counting in tens. So you got 30 plus 20 equals 50 altogether. So that section's pretty easy. All right, you're going to add these numbers for this third section. All right, have a look at this section here. All right, for this section it says to break these numbers into bags and beans. Add the bags, which are tens, and then the single beans, which are ones or units. So basically, there's a little bit of a formula going here, or a bit of a method. All right, so we've been doing methods this week. All right, if you have a look at this method, I'm actually going to do this one on the board. All right. So we've got 24 plus 35. 24 plus 35. Okay, so if you have a look at the way they break it down in the book, they simply, so basically they just breaking this down into tens and units. So they go 20 and 4, and then breaking 35 down into tens and units, 30 plus 5. All right, so that's the first step. Then the next step, all right, is they've added the tens together. All right, so now they've gone 50. All right, and then they've added the units together, plus 9, and that'll give you 59. All right, so it's not set out exactly the same, but at the end of the day, All this is the grouping method, because you've grouped your tens together and you've grouped your fives together. I mean, your units together. All right, so it's the grouping method. And when we do these methods, you don't have to stick to one particular way of writing it out. All right, there are different ways of writing it out, and this is just another one of those ways. And if you have a look at the sums underneath that, okay, so all these sums are done in a similar way, of which I've just shown you now. So this section here is trying it in a different way. All right, so they've got 16 plus 43. Let's go to the board. 16 plus 43. All right, and they've done exactly the same thing. All right, so they've first gone and added the 10. So this 10 here and they're 40 there. So it's 10 plus 40. All right. And then they've gone and added, well, they've given an answer, which is 50. All right. And then they've gone and added the units, which is 6 plus 3. And that comes to 9. All right. And then you get a final answer. All right. They've written it out. Let me just double check, looking back at the book. That's right. They added those two amounts here. All right, so they go 50 plus 9 is 59. So if you have a look at that again, it's just the grouping method. They've grouped the tens there, and they've grouped the units there, and they've added them separately in their little groups, and then they've added the two final numbers together to give your final number over here. All right, so let's see how you do with build your brain power. Yeah, and then you can just try those sums. It says there, do these in your book. All right, if you've got your whiteboards with you, you can work these out on your whiteboard. Use a bit of a method. Otherwise, just get a piece of paper. You can work it out there using a method, or if you want, you can just use the cover of this book. All right, let's see how you do with Build Your Brain Power today. Then after Build Your Brain Power, we're going to do some more addition sums in our hardcover book. It's not a new method, but I will give you a little video explaining more about those sums. Then we'll go on to Geniet Dit. All right, today we're going to do Verlede Tyd. All right, so we're writing sentences in the past tense. So vandag is today, gister means yesterday. All right, so you know in English even when we write a sentence in another tense, it changes a bit. And it's exactly the same in Afrikaans. I'll do a little video explaining how we change these sentences into the past tense. All right, after that, we are going to do some Oxford English. Last time when we did Oxford English, here are the books for Oxford English. We work with these two books in conjunction with each other. All right, that's the reader and that's the workbook. Last time when we worked in these books online, we had a very bad day with the internet, and I was still getting to grips with how Discord was working. So hopefully tomorrow or today we can work better in these books, and I will work with the children page by page, explaining as they go along. So let's hope it will be better today working in these books. And then finally, we're going to do a page in Top Class Workbook. We're doing page 44. All right. It's about poisonous and inflammable substances. All right, poisonous means if you ingest it or eat it, or if it goes into your body or touches your skin, all right, it can harm you. Okay, you can even die if you ingest poisonous substances. Inflammable substances are substances that can catch or burn catch a light or burn very easily or quickly. All right, so basically, these are the substances, and you got these little boxes, and you decide which one goes where. For example, these mushrooms, that's a poisonous plant, you put it under this heading, and you draw the picture of it again in that block. All right, so let's see how you do. Color in nicely. Look how beautifully this page has been colored in. Let's see if you can do even better. And that's a wrap for today.